Okay, that was a big process. I went from the garage to my car and carrying my camera, my coffee, my phone, the keys. Oh my good God. I hope no one sees me because this is weird. Hi, I'm Ashley. If you know me from my Instagram or my Facebook, you know that I was Ashley Mason, a professional wrestling manager. For about 2 years, and I happened to get hurt. So I started training when I was 19 years old, and I ended up becoming a manager instead of a wrestler, and it was great in the beginning. I had a great time. There was a lot of people that I really enjoyed being around, and 4 months into my training, I actually worked a House of Hardcore show with Tommy Dreamer and EC3, and I was part of their match as EC3's manager. It was awesome. Like, I had so much fun, but it wasn't always happy and fun. It was a really tough place to be, for a girl especially. You really have to have tough skin to be part of something like that. And eventually it started to get to me, but that's not the reason I left. The reason I left was I got injured during training and eventually found out that I herniated a disc in my lower back, which at 21, I had my first back surgery. That supposedly was supposed to be my only surgery. And I believed it, and I felt great after. I thought, wow, this really helped. Then I fell. And guess what I did the following year? I had my second back surgery at 22. Now, that one, I really can tell you that I feel like nothing changed after that surgery. I felt like they went in and nothing changed. It was just the same as I felt when I went in there that morning before the surgery. So after that, my surgeon that did my first 2 surgeries told me he didn't want to operate on me again because it would require a spinal fusion, which means that they have to stabilize my spine with screws and rods and take out my disc. And he just didn't want to do that at 23. But my pain was so bad, like, I honestly was like, just do it, please just do it. But he wouldn't do it. So I went on to find another surgeon, and I found a great surgeon who's actually the chief of neurosurgery where I am going. And he'd ordered several tests, and he found out that I have instability, which means my spine literally is struggling to hold my body. And he found that I have retrolisthesis, which is where your bone pushes back. So if you were to touch my back in the lower area where my surgeries were, you would feel a bump where the disc is being pushed out. So with that and the instability, he has to operate because eventually my spine's just going to give out and I'm going to go to the floor. And that's not what we want in the life of a 23-year-old. Now, my life is really, I don't want to say it sucks because, it's not that bad and people have it worse. But being 23 and not being able to do certain things because you're in pain and you need to lay down all the time, I really don't enjoy that. It's very depressing. I can't work right now because of the pain. I've been out of work for 7 months now, so that means I'm not making money because I have this issue, which is very hard. I have bills to pay. I have obviously medical bills. I have all of these things. And I want to be working. I'm a person that you don't tell that you have to stay like in your house. Like, I can't do that. That's just not who I am. I'm an active person. Obviously, I'm an active person seeing that I went to do professional wrestling. But now my life is just like complete halt. Like, I can't work out. I can barely sit down for long periods of time. Like, it's sad. Like, I don't like it. But now let me explain to you what my surgery is going to consist of. They're going to go in to my spine and they're going to remove the disc that's barely even there. I mean, it's like as thin as a piece of paper right now. And they're going to take that out. Then they're going to go to my hip and they're going to take a piece of my bone from my hip and put that in my back. And after they do that, they're going to secure that piece of bone with some screws and some rods. But it seems simple, right? No. It's a 5-hour surgery, which is horrifying to me because I've never had a surgery that long. My other surgeries are like an hour to 2 hours. Now, all that has to be done. And I have a back brace that I have to wear. Which, see, this is the stuff where it gets sad because, like, my life just completely changed, you know? And sorry, I'm trying not to cry because it sucks so much. So that's like a 3, honestly, you can't really judge how many days you're in the hospital for with that because it's all depending on how you are. So he said 1 to 2 days at like at a minimum. It depends on, like, they give you these tests you have to go through before you leave. So if you can walk a certain distance, or like if you can get up a flight of stairs, like these are the things that they test you with before you can go home. Which I think that's a good thing because I'd rather know that I'm okay and I can go home instead of being like, oh, you want to go home? Go ahead, you know? And then have something happen at home and no. I'm going to need a walker for a little while. I have my pre-op on the 13th of March. I had to get there at 6 a.m. because I'm going to be there for 5 hours. There's so many things they have to do before the surgery. And I'm glad that they do all these things because they make sure there's absolutely nothing wrong with me. And make sure that I'm going to be okay while under anesthesia. So they have to do blood tests, they have to do EKGs, they do, I meet with certain doctors and all that. My plan, and honestly this all depends on if my brother and my mom are really good with the camera, which I'm not putting too much of a high hope with that because they're probably both going to be very nervous and not want to do it, but I plan to document this whole journey. So this is my introduction of what's going on and give you a heads up on what's going to be coming on my YouTube channel. And I kind of want to give awareness for people that have back issues at young ages because, like, people don't know of them. I can go into a store and somebody will push right by me, not knowing that I have something wrong with me that could make me fall if you push me. And it's just hard. So I want to, like, make it known that people my age and younger can have issues. But I do plan to document the whole process, so I will be documenting my pre-op. I will be documenting my surgery day if my mom and brother are able to get the things I asked them to record. And I will be doing, I don't want to say weekly because I think that will be a lot while recovering, but I will try to do updates on how I'm feeling. So yeah, that's that. And I can't believe I did this all in one take. Wow, I'm impressed. By the way, I am in my car filming this. So it's the middle of a snowstorm. Oh, I put the white balance up, but we're in the middle of a snowstorm and it's pretty bad. I mean, look at this. That's my windshield. Now I'm freezing my butt off. I should probably go inside.